Dave Page, and welcome to Backyard Stories. I'm an early literacy specialist, and today we're going to talk about choosing and using books with young children. So many books to choose from, and so many places to find books if you're in the city. So we're very lucky. I'll talk about the library later on. You can get comfortable. All are welcome. If you have your child with you, I will do some rhymes and songs later on. Mostly we're going to focus about what you can do at home with books. Here's one I've used a lot with children who are learning to read. It's called No, No, Yes, Yes. It's by Leslie Pacicelli, and it's funny, and there's only 2 words in the whole book. No, no, and yes, yes. So N-O spells no, and baby, baby, don't eat the dog food, please. That's for doggy. Yes, yes. How about a nice banana? So very simple. The whole book is no and yes. Your child will be a successful reader. I look for books that have signs because they correspond with what you see in the environment. And children are very interested in signs in the environment. We call this environmental print. And children are more likely to be interested in what the text says when it comes with some kind of sign, like a stop sign. So here's another flat book. It's called Where Spot by Eric Hill. We'll look at this more later. I might just simplify it for a small baby. If your baby is under 18 months, let's try this way. Knock, 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 knock. Open. Bear. Knock, knock. Now maybe baby will open. Open. Bear. Let's turn the page. Oh, a clock. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Open. Snake. That's not Spot. Knock, knock. Who's in the piano? Let's open. Knock, knock. Open. Hippo. So a simple flat book. It's on a lot of best of lists. It's maybe one of the first flat books, Where Spot, along with Dear Zoo. And I showed this earlier, Goodnight Moon. It's a classic that's been around, let's see, we'll look in the beginning of the book, since 1947. That means I can read this whole story. So get comfortable with your child, and we'll take a look at why this book has been around for over 70 years and still sells by the millions all over the world in many languages. You can get it as a board book too, a nice solid board book. So, in the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon. There were 3 little bears sitting on chairs and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a very young mouse. He's very small. Wow, do you see my monarch butterfly flying around? And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. And a little old lady who was whispering, hush. Maybe she's talking to that helicopter. Hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens. And good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. Good night, socks. Good night, little house. And good night, little mouse. Good night, comb. Good night, brush. Good night, nobody. And good night, mush. And good night to the little old lady whispering, hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. What a beautiful book. It's a poem so peaceful, and the pictures are so beautiful. So Margaret Wise Brown authored this book, and Clement Hurd is the illustrator. And they did a few books together, but this one is enduring. Another very popular one is The Runaway Bunny. So babies just love this book. They like looking for all the things that are named, and the older child will enjoy looking for the more difficult, smaller image like the mouse. So another classic. Mem Fox, Where is the Green Sheep? It's a mystery for small children. And again, like Goodnight Moon, it's got a nice rhyme, a nice rhythm. So look for books with rhyme and rhythm. Helps children to guess what the words are going to say. And again, as they become readers, which is a long, steady process, they're going to use their rhyme understanding, their phonemic awareness, to guess what the next word says. Here is the blue sheep. Here is the red sheep. Here is the bath sheep. And here is the bed sheep. But where is the green sheep? That's how that book begins. I'm going to read a little bit more about what Mem Fox has to say about choosing and using books. Reading aloud to children early in life rapidly develops their speaking skills. They don't learn to talk, and they can't learn to talk unless they're spoken to, which is why psychologists and speech pathologists tell us we need to have loving, laughing, deep and meaningful conversations with our kids long before they turn 3. These conversations have also been linked positively to IQ development. The more we talk to our kids, the brighter they're going to be. And read aloud sessions are perfect times for engaging in those sort of conversations, because the reader and listener, you can chat endlessly about a story, about what happened, about the values, about what might happen next. Words, values, ideas. Reading aloud and talking about what we're reading sharpens children's brains. It helps develop their ability to concentrate at length, to solve problems logically, and to express themselves more easily and clearly. The stories they hear provide them with witty phrases, new sentences, and vocabulary, words of subtle meaning. Before long, children begin to understand the look of the print and the way words work in sentences and how the world works, why this happens and why that happens, and how it all comes together to mean something. In other words, they learn how to read. So let's look at a few other books before we finish our session. I want to remind you that reading is a meaning-making activity, and books help our children to navigate their life. This one is called I'll Always Come Back. So it starts with Mommy telling her little girl that they're going to school, and although Mom can't stay, Mom always comes back. So a book like this is perfect for reading to your child, to give them an opportunity to express what might be on their mind, to ask you questions. Will I be taking a school bus? Where do I go to the bathroom? Here's another. It's called Tiptoe into Kindergarten. And there's lots of books. Dora goes to school. Arthur goes to school. Franklin goes to school. Caillou goes to school. Many, many books with your child's favorite characters talking about the school experience. So reading these books will offer your child an opportunity to prepare themselves for that transition of going to school. Similarly, this one's called The Babysitter. Here I have a book by the wonderful author and illustrator Ezra Jack Keats. Very famous book by Ezra Jack Keats is The Snowy Day. This is one of 6 books starring Peter, who's in The Snowy Day. And in this one, Peter finds that there's a change in the home. As he's making noisy play with his dog Willie, he's reminded, shh, there's a new baby in the house. And Peter's not quite sure about this new baby. He's not sure where he fits. And so throughout the book, we see that Peter's examining his chair. He no longer can sit in it. And later on at the end of the book, spoiler alert, he's seen helping Dad to paint the chair for his sibling. So books can help children to navigate their world, to see how they're growing, to see how they're still such an important member of the family, even though the family may be growing. Let's do a song, and then I'll say goodbye for today. We're going to do The Wheels on the Bus, and then I'm going to give you a new song that I learned at Massey Center. It's called Boing Boing Squeak. Are you ready for The Wheels on the Bus? Here comes the bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. Beep, 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 the horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 all through the town. And the driver on the bus says, move on back, meow, move on back, meow, move on back. The driver on the bus says, move on back, all through the town. Oh, look, it's a bumpy bus. And the people on the bus go bumpity bump, bumpity bump, bumpity bump. The people on the bus go bumpity bump, all through the town. And the doors on the bus go open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. The doors on the bus go open and shut, all through the town. Let's go fast now. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town. So our last rhyme, Boing Boing Squeak, is one you don't hear that often, and I'll do it twice so you can learn it. It's a very fun one to do with your child, and it goes like this. Boing Boing Squeak, boing boing squeak. A bouncy mouse is in the house, she's been there for a week. She bounces in the kitchen, she bounces in the den, she bounces in the living room, and then she goes again. Again, again. We can do it with our baby. Boing, boing, squeak. Boing, boing, squeak. A bouncy mouse is in the house, she's been there for a week. She bounces in the kitchen, she bounces in the den, she bounces in the living room, and then she goes again. We could do this eternally. One more time, a bonus. Boing, boing, squeak. Boing, boing, squeak. A bouncy mouse is in the house, she's been there for a week. She bounces in the kitchen, she bounces in the den, she bounces in the living room. She doesn't bounce again, because it's time to say bye now. Again, I'm Dave, early literacy specialist, and thank you for joining me with Backyard Stories.